Sorry.
Oh, I love that clock.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, it is different.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
actually,
yeah. Is it face the right way for you?
yeah.
Okay. Because I have my screen mirrored, and so
Oh,
the clock is backwards to me, but
oh,
I
yeah.
mirror my screen so when I'm pointing to stuff, it's actually what it is. So
Oh,
anyway,
gotcha.
um, why is my internet has been acting wonky? I changed internet services for the sole purpose of it not to act wonky, and here it
Last
is.
night it was pretty bad.
I know.
Like I actually had to get out and go in a couple times just because it was just went dead. Like all of a sudden there's no talk and I'm thinking, okay, is she thinking about what she's doing or and then it just went by too long and then I thought, no, there's something wrong.
How very sweet of you. Is she thinking about what she's doing? That is that is not a thing.
I know.
Not a thing. Stephanie's just like, oh, what about this? What about that? Uh, okay, my it's weird as I'm saying my internet's not working. I'm clearly on here with you. Um, because I wanted to pull up some information about our topic. But anyway, how's your week been? Let's just or should we say hi to our friends? Hi
Oh, okay.
friends.
Hi, everybody. How are ya?
Yeah, okay. Nicety's over. No, only kidding.
Oh, see, don't you get the sense, friends, that uh, Steph is like cracking that whip? Okay, let's get going.
Gosh. It's like, hi, how are you?
Being so
Because,
nice.
okay, but in real life, that is where it's so awkward for me. Like
What?
that, like when you're just greeting somebody, like
Right.
I just want to say, oh, hey, and then move on. I don't want to like sit in that awkward, are we gonna talk or is she gonna hug me? Like there's just that moment
Oh,
when you say hi to somebody.
I don't give anybody the opportunity for a hug
Well, me either, but
unless I want it.
sometimes
If people
people
come up and they're coming towards me like they're going to give me a hug, right off the get-go, I my eyesight
uh,
averts. It's like,
oh, emergency.
yeah,
Is that
squirrel.
smoke? Is that smoke?
Yeah.
Anybody else smell it?
Isn't that horrible? Why am I like that? I
I don't
don't know.
know.
But I'm
Okay. I will see people that I know in a store. I will kill myself trying to avoid them.
trip over everything.
Like, ah! Stranger danger, except they're not a
Well,
stranger. They're
if
like
I
somebody I
see
know.
them, if I see them and they see me, right in my head, I have the inner voice that goes, "Fuck, now they're gonna come talk to me."
Yeah. And that's about when you're like, is that
Yeah,
what is that?
I'll put my head in the freezer door. I'm getting something.
Okay, so to all of our listeners, if you happen to see us in public, I don't have a problem acknowledging you, like, oh hey, and then that's it.
Yeah,
Like
like
we don't need a
if
conversation.
you see me in Dollar Tree, whatever. Um, just go to the end of the aisle and wave.
Yeah, hey, you're like,
And then
oh
I'll wave
hey,
back.
and
And
then we'll carry on.
if I want to initiate, hey, look what I found, don't count on it. But if I want to, I will do it. Okay.
Right?
Don't make me
Um,
feel uncomfortable.
we're like
You
a
know what?
service animal. It's like you have to approach us very carefully.
And you know what? I say this with all jesting, partly, but it is a true it is a true fact. No, that I'm when you're an introvert, as we have discussed in our podcast
Oh,
recently,
much better.
when we're like 85% introvert, I think that's what we were. You
Yeah.
and I ate within one or two of each
Yes.
other. But when you're that big of an introvert, it's a real life problem.
Well,
It is a problem being that out there. And
it
like
is.
when I went to that conference, it took me weeks, and we discussed it. I don't know how many times. There were so many times that I was like, I think I'm out. I don't think I'm gonna go. Yeah, you know what I mean? And that's because it's a lot of peopling, a lot. And if I didn't have my crew, Christine, um, Lisa, her friend, I can't remember her friend off the top of her name off the top of my head again. But if I didn't have a crew, I don't think it would have happened. I would not have went there on my
all by
own.
yourself. Yeah.
No. Isn't that
No.
horrible?
No, I get that. It's not
But
horrible.
yeah,
I mean, that is, and that kind of goes into what our topic is today.
okay. Do you want to lead into that? Let's
um,
just fall right into the topic.
let's just is like fears and anxiety.
Yeah,
Do we talk ourselves into it? And I say yes.
I do too.
Um,
Maybe
like,
for different reasons that you're going to say, but I do agree with, I think we talk ourselves
well, it depends on
into
which one it
some of
is.
them. Yeah.
Like for me, last night I cried myself to sleep
Why?
because it hit me that I have to go to an airport.
Oh,
And I am not a frequent flyer. The last time I flew was 5 years ago. I flew to Colorado to help my sister move down here. So I flew up there and then we drove down together.
hmm,
That was the last time I flew. Um, all the people and so much changes, right? Like I can't
yeah.
keep up with the changes of life. Like we've discussed that just on YouTube and social media and all the things that change. So yeah, it hit me and I was very overwhelmed. I was very overwhelmed. And again, I am thinking of all these scenarios, none of
Hmm.
which are probably going to happen.
I
But
know.
I'm thinking, and I want to be prepared if it does. So if this happened, if my flight gets delayed, what am I going to do because I have a layover? And how is that going to affect it? How do I know where to go? And
Yeah,
it's almost like I'm a teenager being put into a very unknown situation. That's how I feel. So yeah, it actually I was crying. I didn't cry myself to sleep per se, but I went to bed and I was fine. And then how you hit the what is it when your head hits the pillow? It's like, and then all of a sudden your brain's like, oh hello,
yeah.
and all the things. So that's what happened, and that came up, and
I think that's why. Okay, so I'm gonna comment to your thing. Here's a trick I know. Okay, because I don't like flying either, and I shouldn't say that I don't like flying. Oh my God, my nose is so itchy every time I get on here.
you're allergic to the
I don't
podcast.
know, but here it is. I find getting to the airport, going through all the thing, it's very stressful and I don't
Hmm.
like it. And then the same thing coming back. So those two things send me right off the deep end. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Okay. You find someone that's standing there that works for the airline that you're flying with, and you say, you know what? I don't fly very often. Can you please help me with the process? They will do it all for you.
Okay, good.
They'll take your passport, ring you in, take you over here, and just give them a great big gigantic thank you. And before you know it, you're sitting at your gate and you're done. But seek one of the people out that are there to help. That's my main thing. And once you do that, they will do it all for you.
Very good advice, and I will definitely do that. Be like, excuse me, sir,
Yeah,
or ma'am.
yeah.
But then I also
That's all you
have
have to say is I'm sorry. I'm not really good at this and I don't know what I'm doing. Can you please help me? And right off, oh yeah, Now, if
that,
you
that goes
walk,
into my oh my god, I have to
yeah.
people and I'm talking. Oh, what if they're
Hey,
not nice and blah? It's all that
well,
anxiety. But I
no.
have this horrible fear of flying
Yeah.
in itself.
But see, I
So
think too the process of that the going through the gates and the check-in and the this and going through, I don't know, do you have to go through
But I don't have to go through customs.
Okay, so if you don't have
No,
to
I
do
just have to
that,
go
but
there
see,
and strip
to
down to
me,
nothing, and I'm only
well,
kidding.
yeah,
Don't have to
okay, so
strip
that's
down.
kind of what I'm talking about. You have to go
Yeah,
through and get your baggage looked at, and
yeah,
your
yeah.
anywho. Um, I find if that part is eased for me, then the flying part, all you have to think about is the flying, not all the other stuff that's involved in it.
Right.
Anyway, that's just my little tidbit of.
No, I appreciate it.
And I was going to say something that was so important, and now I can't remember.
I know. That's the way it
Gosh dang
goes.
it.
Dadgummit.
Dadgummit. Oh, I
Oh,
said
you
it
said
right.
it! You
That's because
did!
I that's because I followed you. But if I had to do that on my own, it would be gum damn it. Something like that. It would be so mucked up. But I really like that one that you said last night.
Oh, bass backwards.
Bass backwards. I have to remember that for my videos because that is going to be in there for sure.
I love using, I mean, bass backwards. That's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna jump in. So I know that I did that, but this kind of goes with it. So my greatest fear is heights.
Really?
It is almost debilitating. So my fear of heights, I don't even know when or how it started, but I know I've always been afraid of heights. Like I was never one to do roller coasters or anything, even in my way younger years when that
Yeah.
stuff is like doesn't shouldn't matter.
Right.
I I can't. And our overpasses, so you know where the freeway goes up and over things. I don't know what y'all call them. Up north, they call them weird stuff. So whatever, like
We call it a
north.
highway.
So, but the things that go over another highway. So if you have a highway going this way, then you have a highway going over. Um,
Overpass?
yes,
Overpass.
it is an overpass. Okay, good. So some of ours are taller than any roller coaster. They are unnecessarily high. And I can't tell you how many times I felt like I was going to pass out because I'm having such an anxiety attack having to drive over them to the point where I'm now exiting and just getting on the feeder road instead of driving the overpass.
Okay, so can I ask you a question before you continue? Is what drives that fear? Like, what do you think is going to happen
I
from it?
I don't know that I think anything's gonna happen. It's the way it's my anxiety. I literally feel like I'm gonna lose control and fly off the side.
Okay, but what if you did?
Like I would die.
Who cares?
Ah! Or I would just
No,
be
but what
mangled beyond.
no.
But my brain doesn't think like that. It's that and I know it's an irrational fear.
Yeah.
I'm not playing Mario Kart. I'm not like on the Rainbow
No.
Bridge. I'm like, just fly off. There's
Yeah. No.
guardrails and I'm going so slow. Like I know the people behind me are just cursing me six ways to Sunday because I'm just like, and there's curves.
Yeah.
My fear of heights is so bad. I can't even watch stuff on TV. So you know how like if they're on a mountain and they pan out over and it's just like this vast emptiness until you hit rock bottom. When I see that, my whole insides feel like they're falling out.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
It makes me almost have vertigo. Like I feel dizzy and I just can't.
So
I like
can't you just and I'm just playing devil's advocate here because I don't have that fear,
mhm.
but so I'm wondering if you just kept your eyes forward on the traffic, is that not a way to alleviate? Like
It
if you're
does.
looking around,
I
then
don't look
obviously,
around. I
okay,
look
so
straight in
that's,
front, like on
yeah,
the road. I follow the stripes on the road,
yeah,
but peripherally, I can still see there's
yeah.
doom on the right and there's doom on the left. Oh my gosh. Bridges over water, horrifying because that is my next biggest fear is water, but I won't get into that. I'll let you
My
talk in a minute.
my fear. Go ahead, you continue. Because
No, but it's heights. And so in that goes with flying,
yeah,
right? It's that, and I know part of it probably stems from a need for control. and you are out of control up there. Like you just are. Do
But
you
see,
know?
I always look at it like this, and this could be just my rationale. But if let's face reality, if I stepped off a curb, I could get hit by a bus tomorrow. Okay?
Yeah,
Something's gonna kill me. Whether it's
something.
old age, my neighbor, I don't know. But at
Well,
one
that has to
point,
be a story.
at one point, I will succumb to, heaven. Okay? That's the end of that saga. So when I'm up in the air, someone said to me one time, well, aren't you afraid it's going to crash? No. Will I be afraid going down, spiraling down and whatever? And oh, yeah, I'm going to miss my family and I had a good life, da 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 da. But once you hit impact and you're in an ocean, one of two things is going to happen. Either you're going to die as soon as you crash, or the bevy of megalodons down there are going to grab you anyway. So
Either way, I'm out.
either way, I'm out. So there's nothing I can do about it. But it's a control thing, like you said. You
It
can't
is,
control the what's could happen.
but it causes me great
But do you
anxiety.
know that there's more accidents on the roadways and uh,
Yeah.
in the ships and the boats and than
Hmm.
there is in the air?
Yeah, but there's a big difference though. Most of the time, if you have an accident in the air, you die. If you have an accident on land, there's a greater chance you survive.
Yeah, someone changing your diaper, but yeah. Oh, that's good. I'd rather have the megalodon. Let's be done with it.
Let's be done.
Someone's little
That is where we
snack.
very much differ. Um, but it does cause me to the point where the last time, it wasn't the last time, the time before I flew to see, the only time I've ever flown is to see my sister because she happened to move out of state. And now I'm going to see my son. These people need to stay in Texas. That's all I'm
I was
saying.
just gonna say, I'm surprised you
But
let them even leave.
I remember like that threshold where you're crossing over the little tunnel thing from the airport to the airplane, and you reach that point and you can hear it when you step onto the tunnel that's no longer attached to the airport. Like there's like the little metal bar and you can hear the different sound. I crossed that and immediately froze, started crying. I am a grown woman and I started crying and I had to lean up against the wall. And I literally right then called my sisters, like, I can't get on the plane. I froze. Everything within me was just absolutely frozen.
Wow.
Now, she talked me off my ledge. I did get on the plane. I found my seat. I have to have an aisle seat. Quick escape. Don't ask
Yeah.
me to help you if the plane crashes because that is not happening. Sorry, people. Um, and then I picked up my book because this was before electronic books. I picked up my book and I just cried while
Oh,
I held the
really?
book open. Oh yeah, tears just dripping into this book was sopping wet before I got off that plane. Now, once we got in the air and everything was okay, I was fine. It was that whole process. And again, that's why I think we talk ourselves into all this anxiety,
I think so.
because she was able to talk me down and I was able to get on the plane. She was, able to
Hmm.
hit the rational part of my brain. But I think it's true in almost anything that causes fear and anxiety is our self-talk. It's
Yes,
the what ifs.
I believe that
And it
100%.
turns into, this giant ball, like a ball of yarn, like you start with a little piece and then what if, and what if, and what if. And the next thing you know, you're paralyzed because you've done what if yourself right into fear and anxiety.
Hmm.
Now that I know the problem, I don't have the solution though. So if you're here for the solution, people, sorry to disappoint you. I don't have it.
The solution is have that talk that you just said already
In
in your head.
reverse,
Yeah, this I'm doing this to myself. This is going to be okay. You know what I mean? Like that's what you have to.
until we see someone we know in the store, and that's bets are all
Well,
off.
hey, that goes without saying. That's that's yeah, that's a whole other issue.
That's so
That's an
funny.
in-person thing.
Okay, what about your fears?
Okay, you know what? I don't have any fears like that. Those to me are big fears. I have fears like oh, okay, so I'm going to just tell everyone just something that you probably don't know about me. Yeah, you do. I'm an overthinker. And
What?
yeah,
Oh, hold on.
yeah. Yeah, I'm a big overthinker. So I will create problems out of something that hasn't even happened yet. Like if I told you my fears about taking my family on vacation, it you would be like, okay, that woman needs some
No,
mental.
I would probably be like, oh, that's
Okay.
probable.
But that's because I'm overthinking for them. Like
Hmm.
what if this? And what if one of them decides they're gonna go off the ship without us that day? But I don't want to go off, they want to go off, and then they forget that they have to keep track of time, and then they don't get there. And those are my fears.
What if people
Those
get kidnapped
that
in a
are
foreign country?
yeah, but the boat leaves you if you're not back on time. So they'll be on the deck, and I'm like throwing them a lifeline with some towels that are wrapped together. I don't know, but but that's what I'm trying to say to you. That
I
kind of
know.
stuff, those are my fears. My fears are, and then some of them are like I don't know, like attached to my body image. So you're going to a beach, okay? And you're walking up to some lounge chairs. The first thing that I think about is that going to hold me? Am I gonna sit on that and you know everyone on the beach is gonna go, look at that poor fat lady. She can't even get out of the hole she got buried in. Like I that's the kind of little things that I overthink about and my fears stem from. And I truly think it's because I overthink things. It's not because it's a true fear. Well, it is a true fear. It is a fear, but it's not something that, like, getting on a plane or height or
It's not a
because
phobia.
yeah, I could be in the tallest building and look out the window and be fine.
Oh
So
my God,
that
I'd pass out.
yeah,
I
that
would,
doesn't
my anxiety, I would stop breathing
yeah.
because I'm holding my breath and I would literally pass out. I can't tell you how many times, oh Lord, I'm admitting this. I feel like I am going to pass out when I'm driving over these things because
Oh
I'm
my
holding my
gosh.
breath.
Stop.
And then I have to tell myself, it's like, okay, just breathe, breathe. And I am white knuckling the steering wheel. So that there's a difference in like a phobia
Mhm.
because it really is just gripping.
Yeah. See
Um,
that these are small fears I have. The little things that make me go, I don't know. Like, another thing is you know, when you're going on rides or you're going on this and it says a weight restriction, right? So
yeah.
again, it's around the body image, and that obviously is an issue for me. Okay. But on the other hand, I don't care. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
No,
Like
I
it's so
do.
warped because
I
if someone said to me, "Oh, Lorie, you really should do something about that," and I'm sorry you feel so bad about yourself. I don't feel. I love myself. Do I think I should lose a few pounds and that? Yeah, I do. But at the end of the day, I don't hate me. I don't hate.
right.
But this, when I go out into the world and I go to do things, that's where it triggers me. Like, okay, so are they going to look me up and down and say, "I'm sorry, man, but you're going to have to get on the scale for this weight restricted ride." And then
See,
I
if I saw
see,
a weight restricted ride, I would just be like, keep
oh, I
on
avoid
going.
it. I avoid it like the plague. Okay? Prime it's a prime thing. On this ship there's this thing that you could ride around the top. Now I know right off the bat just by looking at it because I've been on the ship a couple times, so I know. There's a weight restriction. And I'm not going to do it. I'm not, even though I'm nowhere near that weight. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Like
Because what if?
it's just that mind gripping what if? What if I get up there, you spend
And
2 hours in a lineup, I get up there and some Yahoo goes, I don't know. Right?
some young
La-
punk kid
yeah.
who has
Lady, who are
morphed and
you?
body issues.
Right? Lady, who are you kidding? You're not getting on this. You're gonna wreck the whole ride. No,
Wow, you have like gone
I'm
way
I'm
off.
jesting, but that's
But
kind
as
of,
your thought process.
but it is a thing where you think to yourself, do I want to put myself in that position? Do I want to, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I think it's absolute lunacy because I'm nowhere, 90% of the time, I'm nowhere near the weight restriction, but I have that fear that someone's going to think I am
Right, or pointed
just
out
by
or
looking at me, or you know what I mean? But it's stuff like that. Prime example, okay? I'll give you just a little bit of an example. I had anxiety for weeks and weeks. Friends of ours and hubby and myself went to Vegas, and we signed up for this helicopter ride through the Grand Canyon, and oh my God, it was gorgeous. Okay. Beautiful. Um, but they say that they're going to weigh you at the airport because the helicopters can only do
yeah.
so much, right? So I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna kill me. I'm gonna have
It's gonna kill me.
for weeks I'm worried about this. Okay. So we get in, we're signing up, and then we go. Nobody even weighed us or anything. Little did I know the floor was the weight. The floor you were standing on was the weigher. So I stressed out over absolutely nothing, literally.
That's so
And away you
funny.
go. Okay, thanks. Have a good time. And I'm thinking, what are you going to weigh me?
Wait, I have worried about this for a month.
You
Weigh
better
me.
weigh me right now, okay? Because I want you to know that I'm nowhere near.
I need some validation right now.
I want someone to say, you're good. But anyway, at the end of the day,
You're
I'm
not
joking
too
around, but
big.
okay. I'm making very much jokes about this, but those are real. Those are my little fears. Those are my things like, okay, I don't know, stupid things like, oh, Connor's going out. Um, and it's dark.
Oh
So
yeah.
he's driving in the dark. And
Mhm.
I'm all panic stricken. Oh, what if? What if?
What?
You
All
know,
the what ifs.
he's shared with me that he doesn't like the oncoming lights because they have some of these cars have these great big blue lights,
Yes,
and
the
he
awful.
you know, and right away I get into a panic. Those are fears I have, but they're more uh, I don't know what you would call them in regards to fear. Like it's a fear I have about certain things, but it's not and I certainly do talk
But
myself
is it a
into it.
fear or is it just concern that may be a little over the top? You know what
Oh
I'm
no.
saying?
No,
No,
it's
it's just
total
like
fear.
no.
I'm sorry, it's total fear because until I see the lights come back in that driveway, I'm all kinds of anxiety ridden. So as soon as I see the lights and I go to the camera and I see that he's home, then I'm good.
Yeah.
So it could be concern, but it's to me, it's absolute fear.
Well, it's concern that grows into anxiety, I guess.
And of course, it's because you're thinking. It's that
Yeah.
self-talk. Again,
Mm-hmm.
I
All
think
the
that
what ifs.
the self-talk that you have is a big thing that can convince you of almost anything,
Yep.
right? So yeah, we I don't know. It's I don't even know what to say about it, but it's a bit much sometimes. But I don't even
It's
know, to be honest, what other ones what other ones scare me, to be
okay. What
honest.
about like stink bugs, spiders, stuff like that? Because I
Oh,
know
okay.
those freak you out.
Okay. So let me just say this, okay? I am an animal lover. I love if I could go around and collect all the homeless cats and dogs, and uh, if I had trillions of dollars, I would have a farm and all those animals would have a home. Okay? I love bees. Bees, I will let bees land on me. I will put a little cup of whatever I'm drinking beside me in hopes that they'll land and take a drink of the sweet tea or whatever, right? But you get a stink bug in my room, and it's like the militia have come to tear my place apart. I will not sleep until I find that stupid thing. And spiders, oh my gosh. I don't know what happens in this area I'm in, but there's certain time of the year and it's like they're raining. Now that's it. Okay, that's a little bit of an exaggeration. Okay, that's because I have a fear of them. But
Hmm.
one could come down from the ceiling and I just automatically think there's a whole family attacking me. So they
Burn it
they've
down.
they've sat up in the walls for months thinking, how can we torture this
Just
woman?
watching, just
Right?
watching Lori with their
That's
little with
right.
their little hands, just like
But I don't like anything that flies at me, like stink bugs or ladybugs. They'll ding June bugs. Oh, those things. Those things when you go outside in June, okay, they're great big,
I know we have them
okay.
with spiky
And
legs.
they'll get stuck in your freaking hair.
Yep.
Okay, let's not worry about the bats, people. The June bugs is where it's at, okay?
Although June bugs don't carry rabies.
I don't care. I'd rather have a bat fly at me than a June bug. And that's the truth of the matter. Because those things when they whiz by you and hit you off your scalp and then they're stuck in your hair, like just thinking about it now, I feel my cheeks getting all hot because I can't. Those things, yeah, nah.
See, June bugs don't bother me. I'll pick them up, throw them back outside, not a big deal. Those are flying cockroaches that
Oh,
are
cockroaches? No.
they're about this big, no
Okay.
joke. And they will fly and like when they hit you, it is like a ping, like you feel it. I
Oh yeah.
can't. I can't why can I handle a June bug and not a flying cockroach? I don't know, but there's a difference to me.
Is it the size?
It may be the size, but also our tree roaches, our big giant roaches that we have,
Okay, see,
they they have something in their body, like if they land on you and they feel threatened, they can sting you. Like they have
oh,
a
nice. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
So that I think that's why it's like they can hurt me. June bugs cannot hurt you. They don't have a poison or anything like that. They're just annoying and they
okay, so
just
what
have
time
prickly
of year
legs.
again am I coming to this?
The
Uh,
roaches, the tree roaches they'll be gone. They
okay.
go because when it starts getting cooler, they go. I don't know that they go dormant. They're just not out. Like I don't know what else to say. They're just not out. I have to look that
Yeah.
up.
Well, I know that it's the same here. When it gets really cold, you don't see those bugs anymore. But there's times like this time of year when we don't even know if we're into fall. Half the time it could be fall and then it's freezing and ice on your windshield and you're headed into a snowstorm. And then tomorrow it's going to be, you know, 40 plus and you're going to be happy. That's when they
Sorry.
all come. That's when they all come back out again, right?
Yes, ours. I don't know what happens to ours. They just go dormant. It's weird because it's not even cold. It's not even cold. Um, my husband doesn't realize it's Tuesday, so I just had to tell him I'm recording. Texas, Tree Roach, Texas. Um,
You're looking it up.
I want to know though. Like, do they go dormant? Oh God, just looking at them makes me
Well,
go.
I don't even care what they do as long as they're not, if they're dormant, they fly to a different country, they, whatever they do, dig themselves a hole in the ground and live there till next year. I don't care as long as they're not in my face.
No, and generally, I can tell you they won't be in your face. Very rarely do I even see any flying. They're on the ground, so it's easy to like just avoid them.
Okay.
I can't even step on them because that makes me want to vomit because they're
See,
big and the
and
and
that's
the
the thing.
crunch and the
When I crunch a stink bug, normally I would feel bad about that, but I don't with those. I don't because I can't.
I can't. It's
I know. So yeah, let's get off the bug subject
yeah, I
because
know because
all of a sudden I'm looking at my windows and I'm looking at my door to make sure nothing's crawling in, and I just can't even worry about that. So, the other fear I have is driving in the winter.
oh
When there's snow, someone say, okay, well, so do you want to go out for dinner on X night or whatever? Is it going to snow? Is it snowing? Are we
yeah.
expecting snow? Because if we are, I'm out. I cannot drive in snow anymore at my age. I just can't do it. Going from my house to the club in the snow is enough anxiety to give me some sort of heart attack. And
I couldn't do it.
it's not even far. That's the thing. It's not even it's like I'm going to say in the winter time I would say it's a good maybe 6 to 8 minutes down the road. 10 minutes tops. Probably for me 10 minutes cuz in the snow I'm doing 2-3 miles an hour.
Oh my gosh. I'd be doing the same thing though. That's why I won't live where there's snow.
Yeah, it's
The
too
thought of
much.
driving in that, just the thought. I have never, maybe once in my whole lifetime I've driven in snow. Maybe, I don't know. So I'm gonna say no. But the thought of it, just
Yeah.
the thought of it, I'm just like, nope.
Now, if it was just snow, I probably wouldn't be that big of a deal, but it's what's lying underneath the snow,
The
which is
ice.
black ice. And you
Mm-mm.
can't tell which section it's in. And so you could be bopping along at your, 4 miles an hour instead of two. And
What?
all of a sudden you're in a spin out. Now that happened to me on the highway going to work one day, getting off the off ramp, going down to, what are you doing?
Clicking on the wrong thing. I was trying to look up phobias. Go ahead.
Um, Going down the ramp and all of a sudden I hit black ice and I'm doing a 360 it, as the oncoming traffic is coming towards me in a snowstorm. I can't. That sent me like I literally was fine. Everybody was able to stop in time. As I was coming out of my spin, I moved over to the side of the road and I sat and cried like a baby. Cried like a baby.
I would have too, though. I can't. Mm-mm.
So that is another fear of mine. That one, rain, I don't like driving at night anymore. That's part of my old age thing, I think, because it never used to bother me before. But I don't trust my eyesight. And when it's dark and the oncoming lights and that's a fear. So and when I call it a fear, it's when I rule my life around that scenario.
Right.
So I will
Like,
not, unless I absolutely have to, I will not go out in dark unless someone else is driving. Then I'll go. But if I have to drive, it's a no. Hard no for me. Sorry.
I haven't got to that point yet. I can
Yeah.
feel it coming, though.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
I used to be the one, like, I'm driving all the time, no matter what. And now I'm just like, okay, that's not true. That is true.
It's true or not
Now,
true.
I have literally confused myself. So I am a control freak. Hi, my name is Stephanie. I want to be in control of all situations at all times. Um, so I would always drive. Even when Kitty and I were going places, I prefer to drive. Now I prefer for him to drive. I'll be a passenger princess. But if you think for half a second I'm going to get in the car with any of my kids and have them drive me somewhere, I'll take my own vehicle first.
And why is that?
I don't, I don't trust them driving. I mean, Rachel especially, that girl's been in more wrecks than any of my kids, all the other kids put together.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah.
it just stresses me out.
If someone else
Heather
drives, I'm okay, but I'm not.
Heather drives like a scared driver. And that's scary. Like she could barely get up to the speed limit. She is very scared of driving. At least she was. She may be better now, but I don't know. It's almost like I feel like they're not paying close enough attention to their surroundings.
So it's a control
It
thing.
is a control thing. I have
Yeah.
control issues. I always have. I always have. And I know what that stems from, but we're not going to get into the psychoanalytic part of Steph's brain.
Oh,
Um
dang.
uh my other great fear is water. Like big bodies of water,
Well, I don't
not
blame you.
not but even swimming pools.
Oh,
If I get up to here and my feet cannot touch that, like if my feet are starting to go down that little slope where it's deeper, I will almost vomit right there because oh my God, I'm gonna die. I know how to swim, but I can't go in the deep end.
see, and I find that, yeah, don't you wish we had a doctor sitting right here just to decipher what our fears are? Because I'm fine in a pool. I could quite frankly live in a pool all day long, all summer long.
In
Okay,
the
I
deep
could.
end and your feet don't touch the bottom?
Yeah, I'm not a
Okay.
problem. Okay.
Okay.
Now, get me on a beach. I'm lucky if I'll go waist deep.
Oh, you're better than me.
Once I get that, it's like, no, that sharks can come in there. That's
Yes.
that's not happening. I'm not
If
going to be
I can't
someone's
see my
lunch.
feet, I'm out. Like
Yeah.
that is my gauge. If I can see my feet, then I can see the critters.
And
I can't see my
George is,
feet. Nope.
yeah, George is like, come on, put the snorkel on. Come and look at these beautiful fish. I'm good. Okay, I'm good.
I will watch a Netflix documentary on
That's right.
tropical fish.
I've
No.
seen enough of those fish the watching the YouTube channel of about the resort we're on. I seen them.
All
We're
of
good.
them. I've
No,
seen all of them.
I don't
Nemo,
want.
Dory, everybody.
As he goes, so you're not going to go on the jet ski with me, or that flying thing over the where you sit and you kite? No. Do you want to know why? Because there's people, not people, sharks down there circling, thinking, "Oh, please, would one of them just fall in my mouth?" So
Dinner.
it's a shark thing for me, right? It's like being
Oh,
eaten by the sharks and the megalodons of the world. That's not my game. Now, if
mine
I'm in a
either.
tumbling aircraft flight down, hey, whatever happens, happens. It's going to happen either way. So, I'm not stupid enough to know that this is going to be a movie where we're going to be floating on the ocean until rescue comes and we're going to be eating each other till we get I'm this is not some movie. I know what's going to happen. We're nose diving into the Pacific Ocean, and there's
You're
going to
gonna
be
die.
stuff down there to that are hungry, and
Yes.
you know they will have
A feast.
a feast. So yeah, no, I'm joking, but I'm not joking. That is the fear of mine is sharks.
Yeah.
So no, I will not do, I'll stand on the side of the water and take pictures of you and do a
Have
video.
fun.
Oh, look at you on the thing. Da 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 da. No, get in here. There's a shark. I see nothing.
That
No.
is nope. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I. And I will go out on a boat, like a fishing boat. That doesn't bother me. Now, I try really hard just to rein in the fact that the boat could just sink and then I'm shark food. So I rein in those fears and those thoughts. But I have watched people, we are out in the middle, we are like 3 hours out. We are in international water. We are in some of the deepest water, deep sea fishing, and people are jumping off of the. We are catching sharks. We are
Okay.
catching
I'm
big
sorry.
fish, and they're jumping into the ocean to swim.
See, those people have death wishes.
They do.
I'm sorry.
They're something.
Either that or they're maybe a little off and don't get the fact that there's sharks under there. I don't
We're
know.
catching sharks. Like,
I don't get it.
oh my
I just don't
gosh.
understand it.
I don't
But
either.
I
And
will tell
watching them
you,
causes me anxiety. I'm like, oh.
I will tell you one thing. It just reminded me of something about the airplane. I do have one fear about the airplanes. Can you guess what that might be?
I swear to God, if you tell me you're gonna get flushed down the toilet.
No, it's the bathrooms.
What is your fear
Like,
about the bathroom?
because if you get stuck in that thing, do you know how small they are?
Yes.
Like, you literally have to grease yourself down to go pee. Because those things, if you get stuck in there while something's going on, I'm sorry, but I will flush my own head down because I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want, that's the last place I want to be when the plane's going down. I want to be in the comfort of my seat, screaming at my husband, doing all the things that I love
The last
while
final words.
while I'm
I
going
told you
down,
we shouldn't come on this flight.
not stuck in some bathroom that, no.
I won't leave
So,
my seat.
oh no, I don't either. I never use the bathroom.
Uh-uh. I had to one time and because I was ill prepared, but that was the last time. One and only time I've ever had to use the restroom on a plane. Not happening.
I don't know. So what other one do I have a fear of? I'm trying to think. I think that's it for me. I don't know that. Can you think of any more that you have? Like, though, that's pretty.
I mean, again, I think a lot of mine are concerns that I wallow in, so it turns into fear and anxiety. Um, and one of the biggest ones is something happening to my grandkids.
Yeah. See, that's the thing too, right? You
Like
worry about your
because
family and
they're and because the world we live in.
yeah,
Like the girls, Elizabeth and Delaney get dropped off at the bus stop one street over, right? So, and our street's not that long, but they get dropped off one street over. Hell or high water, we are making sure somebody is at that bus stop
yeah,
to walk them home. And but when my kids were that age, I was working. They were getting off the bus doing God knows what
yeah. Letting themselves in.
because we didn't have cell phones or
Yeah,
anything. We had a
yeah.
landline, if anybody knows what that is. um, and they were supposed to call and check in, but do you think they ever did? No. So
No.
who knows what my kids were doing from the time they got off the bus to the time I got home?
Well, it's funny because
But I didn't worry as much as I do now.
I'm finding out more now about what they did than when they were kids.
Oh
Apparently,
yeah.
apparently Brad was beating Scott up half the time and Scott was
Yep.
hiding places because Brad he beat Brad on a game and Brad was PO'd because he lost the game and then he was
So did
asked,
they chase each other with butcher knives?
yeah,
Yeah. What is
yeah,
wrong with boys?
that and there was a great big hole in the wall and they what do you call it, masking taped it up and we
Mhm.
didn't even notice it for days that hole went unnoticed.
There was a hole between the boys' rooms
Yeah,
because one of them got mad and shoved it right into the wall and it
yeah,
went through. And so then they just proceeded to make the hole bigger every
yeah.
time they got mad at each other. And there was just a giant gaping hole between the two rooms. Like,
Oh my
what in the
God.
world? But yeah, I find out all kinds of stuff. And the girls, so the girls are all about sneaking out. That's the stuff I find out about them.
Oh, they were sneaking out.
Oh yeah. Rachel said she snuck out one time and she was coming back in at like 4 o'clock in the morning and she couldn't get in because Kitty was downstairs. He got up early and he was sitting downstairs. So she had to just sit on the back porch until he left.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is one thing that, and I tell this story all the time. You probably have heard it, but they were old enough to be home alone. I didn't need
Mm-hmm.
to have a sitter. I did have my next door neighbor. Uh, agreed that if they needed anything, they could just go next door and, whatever.
Right.
Okay.
In case of an
So,
emergency.
yeah, yeah. So, do I think they were left unattended and, never to be heard from again? No. But this one time, so I'm in an office environment. Okay. At this point, I was out. It was an open concept. So there was like everybody's desks were like out in the open. And I pick up the phone and it's Scott crying, like sobbing. What's the
Yeah.
matter? And I said, Scott, I can't understand you. You need to stop crying. By this time, all my friends around me are like, what's going on? What's the matter? What's the matter? Right. So, long and short of it is I'm like, okay, what happened? And this is what he says. Okay. Brad's looking at me and he won't stop. I'm not kidding you.
Oh, I know you're not.
And I went, Brad's looking at you. I said, go to a different room. Well, he follows me and he just stares at me. I said, close your eyes and have a nap. And before you know it, he'll get bored and no, you don't understand. He's staring at me and he won't stop. I said, get your brother on the phone. Okay. Now I'm downtown Toronto.
With
Okay.
everyone listening to your long
An
conversation.
hour away. I can't get there at least for another hour and a bit.
To make
Okay.
Brad stop looking at it.
So Brad gets on the phone. I said, what are you doing? He goes, nothing, Mom. This kid's crazy. I said, okay. He says you're staring at him. He goes, oh, I looked over his way. I said, quit staring at your brother. Okay. I'm telling you right now, when your father and I get home, there's going to be a staring competition like you two have never seen before. I said, so stop it right now. I can't do anything about it. Everybody around me's laughing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Because here we have two kids who are phoning their mother downtown Toronto because one of them is staring at the other. Staring, not chasing them with a knife. I didn't get a phone call then.
No.
No, I get a phone call when he's staring at him.
Okay. The phone call I get, Kyle, Mom, I can't take it anymore. Okay. What can you not take? Kenton, blah blah blah. I don't remember all the things just rattling off. He's like, can I just kill him?
Oh
Can I just
God.
kill it? Oh yeah. I was just like, no, no, you
No.
cannot kill. Well, can I hurt him? No, no, you cannot hurt him. Like, my son is asking permission to maim or get rid of his sibling.
Yeah.
And like, what am I gonna do? Yeah, go ahead. Like, what would he have? Oh, yeah. And so I'm at work and I'm trying to talk my son off of a ledge because he wants to hurt his brother. Or the time that he locked his brother out of the house because it took him too long to get to the door.
Oh my gosh.
But you didn't have to lock the door. Like, you could have shut the door. Okay, so good for you for not letting, the paid air out. But you didn't have to lock your brother out. You could have just shut the door and let your brother come in. No.
That was a conscious decision.
Oh, very much so. To lock your brother out. I get home, okay, and this is how I'm greeted. I pull in the driveway. I don't even know if I had it in park yet before Kyle is at the window of my door, okay? And so I roll the window down because I don't know, I might want to just leave. Like, I might just not want to stay there anymore. Let me tell you my side of the story first. There's a story. There's sides.
I gotta get dinner ready. How long?
What? Yeah. Why he punched his brother in the face.
Well, that's okay.
So.
I find out that, because hubby and I used to commute with each other, we used to have a standard car sitting in the driveway. And I find out that Brad used to get in it and drive everywhere. Didn't know how to drive a standard, nothing. And
he learned.
We said to Brad later on, like recently,
adulthood, yeah.
He says, George says to him, well, how did you do that? You didn't even know. He goes, oh, it stalled a few times. I just started it up again and it went.
Okay, so Rachel was grounded. So we boxed the she had she drove my old minivan. So I got a new truck and she drove the old minivan. It was a hoopty, but you know what? They're teenagers, they don't deserve to have anything nice. Um why, so they could wreck it? No, I don't think
Yeah.
so. But we had it blocked in so she couldn't leave with my anyway, her and her friends literally picked it up little by little, moved it enough for her to get in and back it out over the grass, and they left and then they parked it back. And I never
Oh
knew
my
until they were adults.
gosh.
How
Wow.
desperate are you to
See,
leave that you have to do that?
it's so funny how they are, eh?
Kids are, yeah. But all of that to say is my kids were probably like feral children, just
No.
running around the neighborhood, living their life. I don't want
But can
no,
you
but they'll,
imagine now though, Steph? Sorry to
oh,
interrupt you. Can you imagine now where you have the kids can't even go out and like our kids could go out and play, our kids could, all the
yeah.
things. And now nowadays they can't even do that.
No, because we're so afraid they're gonna get snatched. My
Right.
biggest that is one of my biggest fears
Yeah. Yeah, the
is
world, I think
that
the world around us is a big fear of mine too.
yeah, I can't take that chance because um a lot of my grandkids are blonde hair, blue eyed.
Hmm.
That is a hot commodity on certain
Yeah.
markets, and
Yeah.
it freaks me right out.
Yeah. I don't know.
So that is so no, Lizzie and Lainey, they don't go in the front. They don't go in the front yard by themselves.
Yeah.
There's always an adult, like if they want to ride their scooters or whatever down here, they are
I
not.
remember I used to say to the boys, go play in the cornfield. Go.
I
You
used
know
to
what
tell
I
my kids
mean?
to go play in traffic, but I was
And
kind of kidding.
you know, come on in when the lights are on, or come check in with me every once in a while, make sure you're all okay. And, you know, where did you get to? Oh, we were down at the creek. Oh, okay. I go do laundry and there's frogs in their pocket. Like,
Yeah,
these are the worst things we had to worry about.
I didn't realize it, but like when we have a big park that you can get to by walking, it's not like it's right there, but so the whole backside of the park where it's no trails or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's people aren't really on that
Hmm.
side of the park. It's just still part of it. The boys would go all the time. They found an encampment.
Oh, nice.
So there was like homeless people sleeping in tents in the backside of this park, and growing marijuana, which I know is legal there. It's not here. Okay. But they were protecting their crop.
Oh, yeah.
And then my boys are just like roaming around with, whatever
Oh my gosh.
craziness. But I remember as a kid, we went all kinds of places.
Yeah,
All kinds of yeah, it was, and I know, there were psychopaths back then. There were murderers. I mean,
absolutely. But they
I've
were,
listened to all the stories, all the serial killers, but it wasn't that was like so, one person doing crazy stuff. Now you have hordes and rings and you know what I'm saying, of people that are just ready to just snatch your kids. It is very, very different. And it's sad that our kids, our grandkids will never understand the freedom.
hmm, it's true.
It's very sad.
Very true. So, bye.
I was just gonna say bye.
Bye.
Bye now. Bye, y'all.